I'll remind you.
I'm not asking you to speak.
Okay, you're over talking me again. I don't want to have to turn your. I don't want to have to turn your volume down. Okay.
Is this what's
I don't want to have to turn. I don't want to have to turn your volume down. So I'll just refresh your memory. I am not interested in conversing with you.
Okay, well, so don't converse.
Okay. So Ciro.
Don't converse with him. I'm gonna still give my input on the conversation.
Right. Well, I'd like to. Okay. Yeah. Well, you were questioning me.
I think what you'd like me to say is that
I'll wait till
point out the flaws in your argument. Is what you want me to say, right? That I shouldn't point it out to anyone. Is what you really like. You don't care about me conversing with you. You just don't want me to tell other people where you're weak and wrong in your argument, so you can get away with nonsense.
Okay. So Ciro.
Is that what this room wants?
Okay. You let me know when you're done interrupting.
Is that well? I mean, I'll leave it up to the room. If they want only you to speak and you decide who's allowed to speak on this topic, then I'll respect the room's wishes. But if they want other people to give arguments against what you're saying, then I'll respect that wish as well.
Yeah, I was about to say this seems more like a lecture than a debate.
Yeah,
I'm having a conversation. I'm having a conversation with.
No, he's having a lecture and he can't handle.
Wait a minute. I waited till you were done talking. Now you're over talking me. I'm speaking to Ciro. Okay, so Ciro, back where we were. Okay.
No, you're taking over what
you're over talking me. I'm answering Ciro. I waited.
You're just trying to manipulate people into going back to what you want.
Okay, so for the third time, I'll wait till you're done over talking me.
Yeah.
Are other people not allowed to speak, John? Just you and Cyril?
Look, let's not. We don't need. I don't need him to engage. But I think he's tricking people here when he makes this argument about God's supremacy and this whole presuppositionalist view, right? Because you could say that about anything. I could say the devil is the ultimate supremacy. So anytime you ask me how I could prove anything, it's the devil that defines logic and everything like that.
Right. I feel like we've agreed on that at least. If God exists outside the realms of the natural world, then the rules of the natural world can't prove or disprove his existence. Done. Why even consider it at that point?
Well, so Ciro, let's get back to our conversation before I was talking to him.
No,
Ciro, just to let you know.
I was responding to your argument.
Ciro, would you want to continue the conversation, Ciro? Because there's a small
I think what he means to ask is, do you want to
enter the room who are stalkers and trying to disrupt my conversation?
Let me finish the lecture without someone pointing out.
There's no moderators in the room, and the owner is not in the room. He's already banned some of this guy's friends. What he's doing here is he's trying to disrup my ability to speak with others.
I'm trying to give an honest.
Obviously, since I am not about, you're over talking me.
Point out where I'm being dishonest in my
Ciro, do you want to continue the conversation, Ciro?
Well, I would prefer that we all assume we're each arguing in good faith.
Well, Ciro, I can tell you that there's a small handful of people who make a pretense of trying to actually engage in the conversation, but they're stalkers and trolls. Now, Ciro, we're not. Ciro, okay, listen, I'll try it one more time. Ciro,
point out how many attacks
because of the trolls.
Have you ever once pointed out a flaw in my argument?
Do you want to continue the conversation with me, Ciro? Yes or no?
John, have you ever once pointed out a flaw in my argument?
Okay. All right. So, I will send you a.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will send you a private invite because there are trolls who are trying to stop me from conversing. So I will send you.
I have no desire to stop you from conversing. I have a desire to stop you from
let the other people talk as well, please.
Cyril, see the four people above you? Squishy, Patrick, Ocean, and List. They're all on John's troll list. I'm on Darth's troll list. You saw him add Reverend to his troll list earlier. You saw him get Realistic Nihilist kicked from the server earlier. What do you think about that? Do you think he's being fair, or do you think he just won't engage people he's afraid of?
I think he's very sensitive, but
he likes to trick people that
sensitive would be a good way to describe
these arguments. He uses trickery and sophistry to trick people to believing him. And anytime someone points out a flaw in his argument, he gets really, aggressive and doesn't want them to talk. So I'm going to point out the flaws in his argument.
Because he's not making.
He was completely monopolizing the conversation.
That's all he does.
If you notice what was going on, what I said to you earlier was, as soon as somebody defeats him in debate, he mutes them. Now, does that seem consistent with what his behavior was throughout his entire time in here, or no?
Well, it just felt like everyone was talking past each other, to be honest, and getting angrier.
So,
Like
sir,
like
what
if we're
he's
if
gonna do now is he's gonna send you a link to his server, and try to lure you in there so he can beat you up alone without anybody interrupting.
Yeah.
well, I
He likes to
never
go after low-hanging fruit as much as he can.
I never felt like I was getting beaten up necessarily, but
he has a script, and anytime someone forces him to actually address issues with the script, he gets very nervous because he doesn't know how to actually have a real debate. He just knows how to lecture off his script, and it sounds appealing. I do think it sounds appealing, right? He's like,
okay, but Eric wanted him in here. He was happy to have him in here. You guys made it.
Okay, Ciro, are you getting the indication I sent you a call?
yeah, I am.
He's having a conversation.
Are you ignoring it, or do you want to take it?
He's having a real conversation about presuppositional.
Oh my God! I'm
like
talking with these guys for a second.
Okay, all right. So then you don't want to continue the conversation. That's fine. Have a nice.
He wants to continue the conversation. Sure. He doesn't want to lecture.
All right,
that was beautiful. It's like Gigi just
man. He's like a child.
Yeah,
he did exactly what she said he was going to do.
God.
So he always gives the same argument. So he knows that there's arguments against it, right? Because he'd like to point out that you can't justify logic outside of logic, which is completely true.
But if that's God, but I don't see how that's a proof of God. That's just you can't have this conversation.
It's not.
Of course, it's not.
It's not a proof of God. He assumes God, and then he says that you need to make the assumption of God in order to know anything. But then, I mean, he's making an initial assumption, so he doesn't know that. And then he still needs to make all the regular assumptions that you would normally have to make anyway.
Yeah, he's got to assume God, just like we have to assume logic.
Yep.
Right.
Well, he has to assume God, and then he has to assume all of the other things that come along with assuming.
Yeah, and not only that, his argument that if there's no foundation, you can't know anything is nonsense, right? I pointed out to him. I said, look, there's a lot of things that you don't have 100% confidence in, but that you follow, right? I mean, there's all kinds of probabilistic truths that he himself subscribes to. He doesn't have foundational knowledge that they're true, right? There's only a chance that you'll get hit by a car if you cross the street. You don't know definitively that you will, but yet he doesn't cross the street, right? And he doesn't have an answer to that. He doesn't have an answer to how he justifies God even. He just tries to make it seem like because you can't justify logic, you have to rely on God. It's nonsense because you can just.
Is there really an answer? Is there really an answer for that question?
No,
that's
what I was
saying.
saying.
I'll see you guys. Good luck, Ciro.
Yeah, sure.
May you be banned from his presence at some point, like a lot of us have been.
Can't wait.
Good luck, man.
You just need to become sophisticated in these debates, and then you'll be banned. As soon as you know how to.
As soon as you start asking the right questions, like some of the questions that I was telling you that you could ask, he'll eliminate you from his life immediately. Like ask him to explain the Trinity, ask him how God two things.
I would like to say
ask
that
him how God knows what's good. These kind of things, these kind of questions, he can't deal